Okay, this video we are going to see how to implement inheritance in Python. So what is inheritance? So we can start with the w3schools.com. So if you have a parent class and also you have a child class, you don't need to define the parent methods in child class again. You can just inherit them using class student person. Student is the child and person is the parent here, and just mention pass. Pass will inherit all the default methods from parent. So having said that, we can get into an example, the same example. So I defined a class called person here. So class is nothing but it creates a new type with defined methods, and here I am defining another class, but as you noticed, this new class student I am inheriting from the class person. So for that I just mention person inside the brackets, and also I mentioned pass here, which will inherit all the methods from parent to the child. And you can create an object with the class using this syntax. So I'm just creating a child, or child class is student bracket. I'm giving the name, the parameters. So parameters would be the parameters of the init method of the parent. Okay, we can start executing this. I'm doing this in pythontutor.com. So visualizing this execution, let us see what happens when we enter. It defines a global frame and a person object. The object points to two things: a class. Inside the class we have init and another method, print underscore name. This function's signature is this, and this function's signature is this one. And next, this has executed, the statement 10 has executed. Now we got another pointer which just says it created a student class, but it extending from the person. Mean means it's just a child class from the parent. And as you notice, it doesn't create any methods. We will see how the student is getting the methods. As you also noticed, it's meant keeping this thing, it says extending from person. Now the statement 13 got executed, and we got the init method got executed with the parameter as name and the first name and last name. That is what we are seeing him here, and it's created with a new frame. Okay, now this is just a calling section, and it is pointing to a new instance. This is where the real instance is getting created. The first name is Naveen, second name got created. Now we have both. Now we have the student instance got created. Now if we are calling the statement 15, which is calling the function print underscore name, which is a method of the parent class. So we will see how it is getting executed. As you noticed, it's invoked from the parent, but we are calling with the child object. Yes, this one got printed. The print self dot first name plus self space plus self dot second name. That is what printed here. This is what the basic inheritance implementation in Python. Now we will see a second example where um, we are creating another child from the same parent, but we are defining separate methods which are not there in parent. So only difference is here we are defining a new class, child class from same parent, and we are defining two methods specifically for this child. And we, as this is child of person, we also get access, this employee, the child will get access to these two methods as well. We will see in the execution for that. So first the class person frame got created, a global frame got created. In that person is a class which is pointing to actual person's class object, which has two object inside, init and print name, which is actually function. The function signature is here. A second class got executed, which is the student. Student says it's extending from person. And third employee class got created, which has two methods, employee sal and get sal. And you have noticed that this is created only two methods, these two methods, this one, but as we discussed earlier, these two methods also available for employee, as this is extending from person. We will see that how it is accessing. Now we are creating a child object, child instance, that is the student instance. When we called that, it is directly going to the parent init that we have seen in the previous example. So I'm just executing through that, printing the student name. Yes, it's got printed. Now the second child object class we created is employee. We are creating an instance for that in statement 32. Yes, it is getting created. As you noticed, it is calling the init, but the employee class doesn't have init, but as you know, it is extending from the person class, so this child has access to init as well. That's why it is getting called. So the instance is getting created with first name, second name, and it is coming to the main global frame and executing emp1.employee_sal. Yeah, employee sal is a method we defined inside the child. Salary got created, so that is also created inside the employee instance. Now we are trying to print the employee salary with the getSal method that is defined inside the employee class, which is not there in parent. It is employee salaries specific method created for employee. It's returned 1000. It got this 1000 from this instance and returned 1000 to get salary, and we printed that in the output. That is what this example. In this example, we have seen second child we created with a specific methods for that particular child. Now we will see overriding a method in inheritance. Overriding means we have a method for in parent. The same method is available in child as well, but only difference is child has some specific parameters or some difference compared to the parent. So we will see which method will get executed in this scenario. Actually, it will execute the child init method, child method. So that is what we call overriding the methods. We will see the execution. Before that, there is another method print name. Print name is there here as well, but here we have only first name and second name, but this class is with person with middle name, so he is getting middle name as well. So when we are printing the name, we need to print with middle name as well. But we have print name for parent as well as child. Okay, going to the execution. First, a global frame is getting created in Python. Person class got created and corresponding class object is this. All the methods signatures are defined. Student class got created. Student class, there is no specific methods, but it states extending from person, extending from the parent. Class employee, also a child of person, extending, so that states extends from person, but we have a specific method for this particular child. And the new one is new child is person with middle name. This, as you noticed, init, the same method got created with this signature. That is what we defined in the child. So it is not extending from the parent. Python understood that this signature is different than this, so it is creating a new signature, new object. The same the case for print name as well. And now we are creating student 1. This we have seen. Print name, this also we have seen. Employee, the same thing. salary got created, salary got created. Yeah, now we are coming to the new child person with middle name. We are passing parameters, three parameters, but the parent has only two, but the child has three. We will see which one will get executed. It is getting executed with the child in it. So we are getting first name, middle name, last name, and we're trying to print name with that instance. The person with middle name instance is calling the print name p2. Print name self, it is calling the child print name method, and we are printing the full name with first name, middle name, and last name here. And this is the instance created for person with middle name. So this is what inheritance for now. We will see in the next video. Thank you.